So, hey guys, today we're actually gonna talk about we're actually gonna talk about these cheap, how to build a cheap PC under £1,000, and it's actually quite simple really. I just went to the platform and literally just typed my numbers down until I found this lowest number possible, and we found these lower digits, and of course straight to bad, these are not good components. The 3100 4-core 8 thread is actually good, but it's just that the cooler is not gonna cool it down if you're in like, especially in a hot room, but because like the cooler is so cheap, and the PC is not gonna really look that good. Plus, the space is so little. In fact, you could just get yourself a PS5 that is cheaper and, that's gonna have more space and much more better components than this PC. And this PC is basically not going to be recommended for gaming. It's going to be recommended for business and work, of course. A work computer instead of a gaming computer, because the 1030 can still run, but it's just that it's a GTX 1030. Meaning by that it cannot really run as well as many others done that. But this 8 GB DDR4 that equals to 16 GB ain't gonna be as good for the PC, and therefore you need to go at least over £1,000 to just you know need to just get yourself a decent gaming PC that I'm about to show you right here. Oh, so here's the PC that I would actually build for you. So this is actually gonna go around 2 grand, and this is so that you can actually get the best PC. Just so, you can actually get the best PC, but however, you won't actually break the 5 grand bank, and therefore actually go underneath 2 grand. That is actually very nice. So straight off the bat, you have to go for the 3800X, as that is going to do really well, especially when you have the XMP unlocked with the RAM. That is basically DDR4, 32 gigs, and basically 2600 megahertz. That could actually get you a lot of FPS, and not only that, but the 100X is actually has 16 threads with the architecture of Zen 2. Not that, but the speed could go to the base speed alone is 3.9 gigahertz, and it's really good with 8 cores, 16 threads. It is really good for it, and it could be turbo speeded up to 4.5 gigahertz, which give you a lot of FPS. But the motherboard, this is where the mother comes in, because it actually takes care of all of the components inside. I know that, but they're all black, so they also fit the theme of it. So basically, this one is basically for motherboard slots for the RAM, and then you have like the X57 AMD chipset with the form factor of ATX, and basically it can support 128 gigabytes of memory if you decide to upgrade. And go down a little bit, these cooler, and what I like about these coolers instead of the fan coolers is that these coolers are way better because it cools the liquid instead of just fanning it through like whole PC and that, and just hopefully like using the fan coolers instead of these coolers. Then you could go to the case, and the case also fits. It's also black and sleek, and it can also be fitted up with a 7800 XT gig 60 gigabyte graphics card that will get you 60 gigabytes of VRAM. Plus, it would actually run very nice, and that bit is also supported by AMD. So basically, it will actually get you that saving cost, and plus it has PCIe times 16, and not gonna lie though, it's also not that big. It's not that fucking big. And with storage, you need a fast storage and you need yourself a slow storage. But however, I started going for SSD for both of them. One that is an M.2 and the other one that is simply a SSD. And these are both fast drives that actually don't really break the bank. Like, you need one for the central drive and the other one for the the alternative drive. And the case coolers, you get yourself some Corsair LED no noise cooling fans. These are actually very cheap. They're £10 per buck, and you can get yourselves 4 of them, and this will cost about 50 bucks. Double take tough power and 850 watts so that it can power the whole thing. I know that, but you could put also more things in it, and it could power it comfortably. And we're ending off with ourselves a nice 165 hertz monitor. I know that, but it's also curved. So basically, you and when it's true curved and straight, it's like curved. Basically, tries to cover more of your eyes. So basically, you know how your eyesight is, and when you stare straight, it wasn't actually get your eyes to take in all of that information and know what to do, and therefore you can crack more IEs in that trash fucking game called Fortnite. Your fucking kids are addicted to. Yeah, you don't know what your kids are into now. They say they get this for some math homework. Why the fuck would they need about this much of space for these math homework? It is clearly math homework, but still, this is about the 2000 bank, and therefore you could just simply get it yourself. And now that it also comes with so many free things like the operating system that you. So basically, it will literally just put on some Windows 11. Of course, though these are of course gonna work because these actually work. But you can put yourself a PCI Express sound card. Now, if you don't know what a sound card is, it basically outputs sound to like other stuff. I don't know myself because I'm quite new to this tech things. Not tech things. I was in the tech world for quite a while, but still learning because people like us are still learning. But these sound cards could also enhance the sound that comes out, that's the output, and therefore you could turn it into 7.1. For example, HyperX actually supports 7.1, so basically in the conversion thing that you have, that is where you connect it, you want to convert it to 7.1 and then convert it out, and it'd be really useful so that you can actually hear all those high crisp HD sounds, and therefore for 240 bucks, not bad. The wireless network adapters, there's multiple of them, and basically you need a wireless one or not a wireless one so that you can of course listen, but you don't need some sound ones that you could just connect the sound directly to your monitor and it will work, or you could just get a HyperX headset and just use a USB-C in order to connect to a PC and use that as a sound card. You want yourself a WAN, and these WANs can depict what type you actually get. You want to actually get yourself, well, there's really different ones. There's actually USB ones where like it will actually connect via USB. There's an extended one where it's a USB-C, not USB-A, but it has a Wi-Fi antenna that you could just use in order to simply connect to the Wi-Fi or other products. And of course, you don't want these. You want yourself a base. Yourself a nice base that will also be really, really good. And or you could go for a wired adapter. These are basically the main difference is that basically you could just simply you can have like a wireless one or a wired one, but either way, if you're gonna go for a wired one, you was connected to the motherboard. That's what I do. I connect my wireless connections, aka Ethernet, to the back of my motherboard so that it can actually work, and you don't need yourself these wired cards. They could also help a little bit, but then you don't need them because you connect them into the motherboard. Anyway, so you just have yourself a sound card that will cost about 200 that 240 you don't need. And utilities, you don't need any of that. So basically, you haven't really blocked the bank really. If you do a solid refresh, it's gonna go up to 9,402. This will also include the wireless, but you can just keep with the wireless, but if you want to go wired, just connect to the back of motherboard. It's simple. This is what I would actually build compared to the cheapest products that I could actually ever find. That is 600 bucks. And this also includes nothing else. And oh, what about accessories? Keyboard. You want yourself a nice keyboard, so let's go fish yourself some keyboards. But you don't want these keyboards. I love for your gaming, so we're gonna try and find ourselves a gaming keyboard. So basically, you want yourself a Corsair or a Razer. So basically, you want a Corsair or a Razer, because Corsair, you want yourself the big kings in the gaming industry. So you want yourself some. So poses a Razer and then compare the prices, realize it's too fucking expensive, but this is truly computer that I will actually build myself. So if you want yourself, you should, but what's ignore Corsair? You want to ignore Corsair at all, because you do not want Corsair. Corsair were absolutely terrible at doing shit. So basically, it was basically a Razer keyboard, and basically Razer is actually quite good, especially for your band for your buck. Like you get yourself a Widowmaker, and this will be really good. Oh, what about a mouse? For a mouse, you want yourself a Razer mouse, because if you combine them together, you can have like a color scheme, and plus you can have some bad advantages in the software that you actually get with the Razer products. So you want to go over to the Razer, and then for a mouse, I'll personally go for a solid. You want to get yourself a nice mouse. Basically, if you look at all these mouses, what I personally think is about these wired mouses. You don't want the wireless. So basically, you want wired mouses so that you can get them, and then therefore I'll go to the Def Adder and thermal paste. You want yourself the cheapest thermal paste you can, but the most expensive is actually diamond infused. So basically there's multiple thermal pastes that you have to get, but I go for a solid that thermal paste and speakers. You don't really need speakers, so could you have headphones? So yeet. USPS. What? So this is where you got to order a van apparently, but let's check what that. So based on my inferences, I actually think this is some sort of server thing. So like, you don't really need it. It really, I think it just monitors the input and the output, but you don't really need it in a computer. So basically, headphones. This is what we're looking. So basically, manufacturer. You will look at around Razer and HyperX, because those are two contenders I would actually recommend. And of course, I'll recommend not a wired. I want it to be wired. So of course you're gonna go for one of these headsets. You wanna go for give you a HyperX and external hard drive. I of course have my external hard drive on the top of my PC, but you don't want these 8 TB. It's like 8 TB is for the people that you know really, really really want to store that beastly data on it. But this is mostly for people who want to start a small server. So basically, I would recommend to get them. But if you want yourself one of them, you want to go to Lenovo or Toshiba and get yourself some one of this, because this is 1 TB, but it is actually enough. And then you want to actually go to the webcam over here. Webcam, there's multiple webcams, but you don't really need it. But if I would recommend it, I'll get the 1080p. But if you want the best one, you could get the 2K one. That'll be $60. But I don't know because one optical drive. I 100% recommend an optical drive to strap on. And with all the things I would actually recommend, it will go up to 2,346. So basically, without it, you have like at least 2 grand. But if you have some extra money to spend, you can spend it on the accessories that will actually be useful towards your operating system, and therefore would be good compared to compared to the £600 PC, and that would also have some shit components. I know that one has like a really tacky keyboard. Basically, you don't want that type of setup. You want yourself a nice setup. Or what about if you go pre-built? Pre-built is basically for people who want to actually have some really good things for a cheap price. And this one, This is what I can explain better myself. An i3 100F that is actually top of the margin DDR4 8 GB, 1650 4 GB of VRAM, 500 GB SSD. This is actually very good, especially for a cheap computer. But there's much more expensive ways that you can go for it. You can purchase an AIO, aka all-in-one PCs that, of course, no one does. You can also explore these that are actually quite fucking expensive, about 3 grand, 2 grand. But however, these are actually dedicated PCs designed in order to simply, well, have a lot of performance, have a lot of FPS, and many other things. So I'm just gonna end the video right here. So thank you for actually watching, and well, if this may sound like as if I'm depressed, but it's mostly because I'm very quiet because it's 11 fucking 50 at night filming this video. See ya.